Melee the crab finds the way out. On the top of some rocks, alongside a pier, a crab named Melee climbed high without fear. She was so fast, Melee loved going high. She laughed at the other crabs as she passed them by. Melee climbed on the other crabs to get ahead. She stepped on their bodies. She stepped on their heads. When a crab got in front of her, she pulled it back down. "Get behind me, I'm first," she would shout with a frown. Though none of the crabs liked her, Melee wouldn't stop. All that mattered to her was being first to the top. One day as Melee raced towards the sky, she saw something strange from the corner of her eye. She paused just a moment, then cried out with regret when suddenly she was surrounded by a giant red net. Melee was trapped. She struggled to get free, but the net was too strong. She cried out, "Somebody help me!" Melee was dumped into a pail on the shore with 3 other crabs, and now there were 4. The other crabs stared at her, then laughed with all their might. "Melee went from top to bottom," they said. "That serves her right." Melee didn't care. She said, "Just watch me climb. I can get to the top anywhere, anytime." But the other crabs grabbed hold of her. They pulled her back down. "Let me go!" cried Melee, as she fell to the ground. Melee tried again, but they clung to her leg. "We're not letting you out, even if you beg. We're all trapped in here, and you're stuck with us too. If we can't get out, then neither will you." Melee finally gave up, and down came a tear. "I'll never make it out," she sobbed with a great tear. And as Melee's heart quickly filled with dread, the words of her tutu popped into her head. "Care for others first, and true joy you will find," said Tutu Papai, so wise and so kind. "If you think only of yourself, you will be sad, but if you put others first, your heart will be glad." Somewhere along the way, Melee forgot. She forgot about the others and all Tutu had taught. And now Melee realized that Tutu's words were true. Letting others be first is what she must do. Maybe I don't have to be the first and the best. Starting right now, I will help the rest. What can I do to make sure they get out? "Oh, now I've got it," explained Melee with a shout. Melee told the first Papai to climb on her head. "Use your legs and I'll help you," is what Melee said. Melee pushed with all her might, and the first crab was free. "Your turn," Melee said to the others. "Let's get you out to the sea." Now it was Melee's turn. She knew she couldn't fail. When at last she got out, she looked back at the pail. She knew she'd always remember her lesson that day. It took an old yellow bucket to show her the way. Melee was so happy, and so were her new friends. What a wonderful way for this story to end. For Melee had learned a good lesson that day. When you put others first, you live life the right way.